On Walmart?
regarding the big box
Yeah.
ordinance to make it state law.
I cannot fathom, I know why they're doing it. It's all based on labor unions wanting Walmart to be punished as a poster child, so they send a message to all other employers that either you become union or you're gone. That's the real story behind all these antics that have been going on. What would we suffer if that happened? Well, number one, limit consumer choice. Number two, in the city of San Diego, we get our biggest sales tax revenues from the big boxes. Costco and Walmart are some of our biggest sales tax generators in the city. In fact, so much so that I kind of make a joke to my residents in Rancho Bernardo. If you got to go to Costco, don't go to the Poway one, go to Carmel Mountain Ranch. Because the money you spend will end its way back up in a pothole. Whereas in Poway, it goes to the Poway General Fund. So why in the world in a budget crisis would you basically turn and say, we don't want you here? And we know that Walmart will continue to see a market in San Diego, and they'll go to Lemon Grove or Poway or some other neighborhood to locate their store. They will take the jobs, the investment, and the sales tax revenue. So it really, really does not make sense to be pursuing a policy at a time when we have 10.5% unemployment of, no, we don't want your investment. Thank you, but no thanks. It doesn't make sense.
What do you think his chances of success of getting it through the assembly and the Senate?
I don't know. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea.
Well, you know, I live in the eastern area, which is just south of College, and we have the College Grove shopping center there. We have a Walmart. And the people from City Heights come to our Walmart to shop. It's not like they're stopping anything. People are choosing
Right.
that place to shop.
Right.
And they, you know, they'll go to other ones too, but
Yeah.
they definitely come to ours because we're very close.
And if they
It's
don't,
not like they're
and if they,
stopping it.
and if it's not in city, if it's not in your area, if it's in Lemon Grove, of course people are going to go to Lemon Grove to buy, and their
Exactly.
sales tax dollars will go to Lemon Grove's general fund, not ours.
That's right.
And that's my biggest concern about this restrictive policy.
It's a great store for his constituents.
Yes, sir. We haven't heard from you.
Two. First, I'm curious as to your feelings about 4 projects: new city hall, expansion of the convention center, football stadium, and library. Although I think the library is probably.
New City Hall. Have you been living under a rock for the past couple years? I don't just oppose it. I've been leading the charge against it.
Aren't there cost savings to that, though?
No. Do you trust what the developers say?
Well,
Oh, all those
what
CCDC
about
people. we can-
upgrading though to
No.
earthquake standards?
No.
and all this
That's a
stuff?
red herring. Here's the issue.
Okay.
We have a 25% vacancy factor in downtown San Diego commercial real estate right now. 25% vacancy factor. On top of that, leave it to government to add 1 million square feet of excess inventory. I agree. Why? We do not need to house all of our employees in one building. What we need to do is be thinking about managed competition and thinning the workforce to be faster, better, cheaper. We need to look at embracing technology and perhaps reorganizing our city employees into 3 business lines: economic development, neighborhood services, and infrastructure and utilities. Those 3 business lines. You can co-locate departments that fit in those business lines for the synergy into 3 locations. And you will find a number of properties, not only in downtown, but around the city that could benefit. For example, why not have one of them in Southeast San Diego? Why not look at opportunities in that community? Parking downtown is quite expensive for our city employees. We actually subsidize it, but go ahead. It's expensive. In Southeast San Diego, we will have an opportunity to achieve cost efficiencies in that regard as well. And so, I mean, it just boggles my mind. I used to run a company, 2 companies, that were bi-coastal, DC and San Diego. We never had a problem with project coordination. Today there's Skype. I'm doing Skype now. I mean, I'm not good at technology, but I've learned how to do Skype. And we have collaborative tools. GoToMeeting.com has a great thing as well. So there are ways for us to maximize efficiency. And I'm a big believer, as a businessman, you buy low and you sell high.
Which means right now is the time for the city to build a better facility for the city because costs of constructions are at historical low.
Wait.
And-
Let me talk about
and-
construction.
And you're talking about the current rate of unleased places downtown, but that's not gonna last forever.
Well, that's why you
Why
move
not
now.
take advantage?
That's why I say-
Why not build the city hall now?
No, let me
but the cost of
address
construction is
construction
low?
first. Construction costs. When we've been looking at construction costs, it is true, construction costs are down for the private sector, not for government. What do we have to do in order to build in government? Prevailing wage, project labor agreements, 30% premium above what the private sector pays. So our elasticity on our pricing and infrastructure is far less than what you will find in the private sector because they are not bound by many of the onerous labor requirements that we have in government. In terms
So
of
the
buy
city- so you
low,
want the
can I
city to
finish my
lease-
answer?
You want the city to lease forever then?
No, let me finish my answer. In terms of buy low, you sell high, it may be that we renegotiate leases, it may be that we lease space, it may be that we buy a building. In fact, Civic Center Plaza was offered to us for sale, which we are already an occupant of a variety of most of that building as it is right now. We might not want to do that building because it may, with retrogrades and upgrades, we may not want it. We might want to go to American Health Specialties that moved out of their building just 3 months ago, 300,000 square feet open. And that's right at catty corner from the Westin at Horton Plaza. But you look at what is the business decision. And maybe what we do is we lock in 5-year leases with 1-year options at our convenience, not the landlord's convenience. And decide, once we fix our financial problems, maybe then we want to build a city hall or look at an option when we have better financial abilities. But what you don't do is say, we're going to build a brand new city hall without looking at all these options. I would rather hold those 4 square blocks and sell when the market's high than to give 3 blocks to a developer and say, well, we're then going to do a built-to-suit building on the 4th block. I want to hold that property until it's the highest economic value. And that's an opportunity for us to look at. Library. We didn't have the money to build it. We don't have the money to operate it. They said, if you build it, we will come. The donors will come and give money. Well, my office is the one that's been quietly circulating the donor figures. They're not raising any money whatsoever. It's paltry compared to what they need to be doing. And that's the other thing about redevelopment, where they said, oh, no, it's free money. The redevelopment agency is going to pay for the library. $80 million into the school district. It's free money. State's going to do $20 million. Free money. No, you've been hosed. I'm serious. It's all your money. It's not free money. It's your money. The $80 million is redevelopment money, and we've just established that you could do it through the convention center.